Hi guys, welcome to the video going through the correction of the acid-base neutralization worksheet. In this video we're going to talk about acid bases and how we neutralize them on the pH scale. So question 1 asks me which picture displays the chemical formula for hydrochloric acid, and that's picture 1. The chemical formula for hydrochloric acid is HCl, so capital H, capital C and small l. The next one we're looking for is sulfuric acid, to write the chemical formula for sulfuric acid. So I hope you can see we've two H's, so we've H2, we have one sulfur, and we have 4 oxygens, H2SO4. Sodium hydroxide is used in the lab. We have to write the chemical formula for sodium hydroxide. The chemical formula for sodium hydroxide is NaOH. And give one safety precaution when working with sodium hydroxide solution in the lab. Wear glasses, wear your lab coat. If it spills, you wash your hands straight away. If it spills, you tell a teacher straight away. Just be really, really careful when you're working with it in the lab. The next thing is asking us is to write a balanced equation for the picture below. So in the picture, I'm not sure if you can see, on the left hand side we have 1 carbon, we have 2 oxygens, and on the right hand side we have carbon dioxide. So we write down what we see. C plus O2. Now it's really important. If you were to write 2O, that tells me you have 2 oxygen molecules, but they're not joined together. In our picture, they're joined together, they're connected. So by writing O2, that means that they're both connected together. And that gives me CO2. And we can see in this picture, they're all connected together, so that's why we would draw it like that. Okay, next question is asking me, HNO3 is the chemical formula for nitric acid. How many atoms are there in one molecule? So we look at each individual atom. So I have 1 hydrogen, I have 1 nitrogen, and I have 3 oxygens. Now I know I have 3 oxygens because the 3 is stuck onto the O at the bottom, and because it's stuck onto the O, that means it only applies to the O. So in total, I have 5 atoms. The Chemistry Cafe has a loaf which is 33 slices of bread and a package of cheese that is 15 slices. He is making sandwiches that have 2 slices of bread and 1 slice of cheese. How many sandwiches can he make? To make sure we don't forget about the 2b. Now, if I was to put the 2 here, that would tell me I'd have 2 slices of bread and 2 slices of cheese. And that's not what I want because I only have 1 slice of cheese. So we write it as B2 with a small 2 and then our C for cheese. The customers aren't happy with sandwiches and he decides to put 3 slices of cheese into each sandwich. Now we have to write a balanced equation for this. So we go through it and we have still 2 pieces of bread, but this time around we have 3C. So our formula now is B2C3. If he also put in a slice of ham, what would the equation be now? So we would still have our 2 slices of bread. We'd have our 3 slices of cheese, but this time around we're including our ham. We'd get a sandwich that looks like this, B2C3HM. Finally, we're getting to a scientific question. So the following is the balanced equation for the preparation of carbon dioxide. So how you make carbon dioxide. What does the 2 in front of the HCl tell you? It tells you that you have 2 molecules of HCl. So if we were to draw that out, it would look like this. So there's your Cl. Cl is the bigger one, and here's your H. And because I have 2, that tells me I have 2 of those molecules. So there's our 2 HCl. The second question is asking me, what does the small 2 after O in CO2 tells you? It tells you there is 2 atoms of O2 and CO2. So if we have a look, here's our carbon. On either side of it, it has an oxygen attached. So it has 2 oxygen atoms in every 1 molecule of carbon dioxide. Okay, next question. Red cabbage is an indicator used to identify if substances are acids or bases. What colour do you think the red cabbage indicator would be in concentrated sulfuric acid? So concentrated sulfuric acid, I'm going to go with the red colour, guys, because it is a strong acid, and we know that strong acids are all on the lower end of my pH scale. What colour would the red cabbage be in vinegar? So vinegar is still a strong acid, but it's not as strong as my sulfuric acid. So I'm going to put the vinegar in a kind of a purple colour, because it's not as strong an acid. What colour would red cabbage if it was in calcium hydroxide? So if it was in calcium hydroxide, guys, you're looking, it would be yellow, because calcium hydroxide is a strong base. And the final question, guys, is asking to look at a solution. So scientist needs 10 centimetres cubed solution X to neutralise 20 centimetres cubed of solution Y. So whatever he has of X, he needs to double the amount of Y he has in order for the solution to be neutralised. The question is asking us how many centimetres cubed of solution X will the scientist need to neutralise 30 centimetres cubed? Well, we said it needs double the amount. So if 30 is double, half of that is 15. So we would need 15 centimetres cubed. Question is then asking us, what is meant by the word neutralise in chemistry? Well, the word neutralise in chemistry means to balance the pH, or to have a pH of 7. Why do farmers add lime to acidic soils? Well, the lime helps to neutralise the soil. Okay, student uses red cabbage indicator to identify what type of solution is in each beaker. The liquid in beaker A turns red cabbage indicator a yellow colour. What does that tell you about the yellow colour? It tells you that it is a base, because if we have a look at our indicator chart up here, we can see the yellow is around 12, and we know that anywhere from 8 to 14 is a base. We know that from 0 to 7 is an acid. When the liquid in beaker B was added to the liquid in beaker A, the solution in A turned light blue. What does that tell you about the liquid in beaker B? That it was neutral. If we have a look, we can see that light blue is spot on there. Heartburn is caused when your stomach is upset by the production of too much acid, and people may take bread soda to relieve the heartburn. What's the scientific purpose of the bread soda? It is a base, so it neutralises the acid. And it's asking me, what do you think the pH of the bread soda is? It's anywhere from pH of 8 to 14. It's in the basic range. Okay, question 3. When an acid reacts with a base, a salt and water are produced. A student needs to prepare salt in the lab using chemicals below and other scientific apparatus not shown. We have to write the word equation for the reaction between these two substances to produce the salt. So we would have, this is going to be a long hydrochloric acid, sodium hydroxide to give me sodium chloride plus water. The chemical equation for the reaction between these two substances is as follows then. So HCl is capital HCl. Sodium hydroxide is our NaOH to give me sodium chloride, NaCl plus water, H2O. The student did the experiment using a data logger and a pH meter. 20 centimetres cubed of the hydrochloric acid was put in a beaker and the base was added using a burette, and the pH was recorded at every 2 centimetres. So we're going to use the graph to help us answer some of these questions. What was the pH of the acid at the start of the experiment? The pH of the acid at the start of the experiment, if we have a look here, it was just greater than 1. So I'm going to say it was around 1.5. We can see it here. What happened to the pH of the solution as the base was added? The pH increased, so it started to go up. Why do you think there's a sudden jump in pH between adding 18 and 20 centimetres cubed of the base as the solution began to be neutralised? What volume of base would you be required to get a solution with a pH of 7? Well, to get a solution of exactly pH 7, there's 5, 6, here's 7. We would need roughly, I'd say about 19 centimetres cubed. And at pH 7, what is the solution in the beaker made up of? Well, it's made up of two things. It's made up of our salt and it's made up of our water. I hope this helps and hope you're well. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message on Schoology.